Yeah, and HR's been on a journey for the last decade. It's moved from its traditional role as a support function to becoming a much more a strategic partner to the business. And that really was exemplified during the pandemic, where HR really stepped up and helped organizations through that big transition when a lot of people went to remote work, and then obviously when people came back in return to office, and now dealing with the whole hybrid work as well. And I think where it really opened the CEO's eyes, I think, to the power of HR. Ultimately, HR acts as a custodian of the people in the organisation, and the people in the organisation usually makes up about 70 to 75% of the cost. HR has a really unique role. It's there to help deliver results for the organisation, but it's also there to support the workforce as well. And I think that's where HR needs to really that's the sweet spot for HR. And I think the main thing that HR can do to drive value is to remember HR isn't about HR, as Dave Auric said. HR is about the business. So really understand what are the big business challenges the organisation's facing, what's the strategy of the organisation, what's people's role in that, and let's align what we do in HR to solving those challenges, and using data, like every other business function, to answer some of the most difficult questions that executives might have, bringing them some insight and helping them get to make the right decision. So just as HR's been on a journey over the last 10 years, so has people analytics. In the research that we do at Insight 222, just over the last 5 years, people analytics is growing significantly. Gartner says that people analytics is the fastest growing area of HR. And what people analytics really does when done well is it focuses, what are the big business challenges the organization's facing? What are the people elements of that? What are the questions that people might want answered, or some hypothesis that we can test? And then people analytics is bringing data together to reveal some of the insights to either prove or disprove a hypothesis, and that helps better decision making. Ultimately, that's what it does. And when we look at organizations that are doing people analytics well, there's 8 characteristics that we've identified at Insight 222. I'm not going to go into all of those, but let's just pick 3. Influence. So people analytics leaders are influencing CEOs and CFOs and business managers in the business as well through their relationship with the CHRO. So in leading organizations, the head of people analytics typically sits as part of the HR leadership team, and he's probably responsible for things like people strategy as well. They're able to prioritize the work on the most important business challenges, partly through that relationship they've got, but also by the business acumen that they've got as well. And then the other one is through culture. It's not just about bringing a great people analytics team together, it's about infusing that data-driven approach across HR as well, particularly to the HR leadership team, but particularly to HR business partners as well. Yeah, AI is playing an increasing role. It's quite interesting, actually. So in some research we did at Insight 222 last year, so we did the survey in the summer. Nearly 350 organisations participated. One of the questions we asked was, how long has the AI journey in HR been? 62% said they're in their first year. 18% said that they hadn't even started. So AI is actually quite new to HR in many respects. We've been talking about it for a long time, but it seems that generative AI has acted as a catalyst. And we're seeing it really supporting in inferring skills, perhaps, just as we saw from Eric with some of the work that you're doing around recognition data at Workhuman. It's supporting certainly in the recruitment process around helping around job descriptions, but it's also helping around with engagement data as well. So looking at some of the unstructured text data as well, and getting some of those deeper and richer insights that we're seeing from that. And I think, it's pretty obvious that we're going to see more of AI in HR, and I think ultimately it's going to pretty much reshape the work of HR as well. Hopefully take away some of the more boring, repetitive and administrative tasks, and allow HR professionals to focus on delivering more strategic value. Again, in the research we did at Insight 222 last year, we asked a lot of questions around this. So firstly, we're seeing, as I said, that people analytics leaders are increasingly becoming responsible for people strategy. They're also invariably asked by the CHRO to lead AI strategy for HR, which kind of makes sense. So I think that means that people analytics teams are reshaping and they're bringing some of that AI expertise into their team. So that's number one. Second one is around data. You can't do good AI without the data. And the people analytics professionals watching will probably smile. We've been banging on about the importance of data management and data governance for a number of years. It's almost as though AI is acting as the Trojan horse for organisations to take this a little bit more seriously. So I think there's definitely that thing around let's have good, clean data. And then the third area is around responsible AI. So ethics has always been important with people analytics, how we provide access to, how we secure the people data, employee data. It's arguably even more important now with AI as well. So get people analytics teams getting involved in responsible AI policies for employee data. And one of the best things we can do about that is to be transparent. What data we're collecting, what we're going to use it for, what the benefit is for the organisation, what the benefit is for the employee as well. Well, it might seem counterintuitive, but I think the more that we infuse analytics and AI into people management, the more important it is to emphasise the human element of this. The great thing about data is that we're seeing more and more reports now. I saw a report from the McKinsey Health Institute and the World Economic Forum recently. The value that can be unlocked through focusing on employee well-being and employee health, employee experience. So most of us get into HR because we care about employee experience, employee well-being. Let's use data and use technology to actually really emphasize that point. And let's make our workplaces better, fairer, and healthier places to work.